Hello my lovelies and welcome to my channel Weird is the New Black. My name is Kat and this is an advice from spirit reading. I hadn't done one in a while and I thought it was about time and I wanted a broad brush of a reading. I fancied it. So the first stack is Adventurine, the second is Obsidian, the third is Labradorite. As ever, take your time to resonate towards your particular stack and I will see you and the relevant timestamp on the other side. Hello my lovelies, to those who chose the Adventurine numero uno. I call this my home stone, and I call it my home stone because when I was trying to find a place to live and I couldn't find a place to live and I was all up in my mind about it, all rational about it, I was thinking nothing was coming through. I just wasn't coming up with anything that was suitable or that I could afford or any of that. And I realised that I was doing the exact opposite thing to what you're supposed to do when you manifest, which is tune in with the feeling of already being at home. And I do think that all humans are kind of inbuilt to know what that is, because you know when it's not there. So how do you know when it's not there? Because there is this kind of knowing of what it is, right? And whether you've experienced that growing up or whether you haven't, I think it's kind of inbuilt, but that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, I was like, I know how I want to feel about it, so I don't really know what to do. So I'm going to go and buy a stone. I'm going to go buy a stone that makes me feel like home should feel when I hold it, and it fits snug, and it is vibrant, and it is peaceful, and it is a sense of belonging, and it is a sense of groundedness, and there's lots of prettiness nearby. I like nature, right? So I went to Glastonbury and I selected this stone, which I did not know was an Adventurine at the time. And I'm telling you that because I think it's relevant in some way, shape and form, that you know where you belong. You know in what relationships you belong. You know in what job you belong, and you know in what location you belong. There's this sense of that there is this inner knowing, and I feel like some of you need to hear that and some of you need to be reassured by that. Now what I'm getting now is Spirit is showing me a donkey wandering around an arena, and it's like a circular arena, and in the middle there's some kind of electronic contraption, and at the end of it is a big stick and there's a carrot hanging off the stick, and the donkey is like walking around the arena. Okay, Spirit's not calling you an ass. Let's just make that clear. Spirit is saying, and I think that you are doing the lion's share of the work is what Spirit is saying, like the leg work, the donkey work, the heavy lifting, the whatever you want to call it. Spirit is showing you that you're the one putting in effort to a situation here, but not the people that should be rewarding you for the effort, or you're not getting reciprocity, or you're not being seen, or you're being overlooked in some way. You're being actively fucking distracted. You're being actively distracted to delay you going anywhere. And this could be a work situation, because it's giving me like the example of management coming to approach you and saying, oh, you want that job progression, that you've been keen to, have a challenge and actually, not be doing donkey work, but, have a progression. And you're like, yeah, great. And they're like, well, we think we might restructure, and I think you'd be ideal for the next grade up, the next level up. And you'd be like, oh, great, okay, fantastic. I need to get my teeth stuck into something. I need to feel like I'm being flexed emotionally, mentally, physically, in whatever scenario this is in your own existence, right? What they don't tell you is that they're not going to restructure for 3 years. That is the vibe that I'm getting here. So somebody or a situation is keeping you working, keeping you on the hook, is keeping you on the side or whatever until they feel ready for you, is the feeling, or they feel that they can, Yeah, so they want you there as a decisional factor, as in, yeah, what am I getting with this? Okay, it's almost like, let's go back to the restructure. It's almost like in 3 years' time, when the restructure occurs, you will then have to apply for your own position. Is the feeling, or you'll then have you'll be alongside other candidates for the job that you've been promised, or a job that you've been like offered, for example, is the feeling here. And it's this is bad behavior, either by your employer or by someone who like maybe wants a relationship, or like wants you to stick around in a relationship. That's another situation that might be occurring here. So they keep you doing futile things, or carrot and stick. They keep offering the carrot. AA. It could be a situation here. You know, occasionally give a bit of carrot and the donkey will stay rolling around. The spirit is being comical about this. I really hope none of you are too sensitive, but that's what I'm getting. So that's what I'm getting. But anyway, there is this sense that you've woken up to this, is the feeling. The feeling about this behavior. And it's not even like this person actually frickin' shows up, or whoever's responsible for the decisions actually bothers turning up, is the feeling. Because this carrot and stick is on this weird electronic mechanism in the middle of an arena. And I'm like, well, where's the actual person at the end of that? So is this some kind of mechanism that you feel trapped in, or you feel stuck in? Because I think you've just about had enough of this. I think, and my feeling is that you're like, I am so close to being done here. And Spirit is not unhappy about that, because you can't see everything. I'm seeing the moon in my mind. Spirit's showing me the moon card. There are, these things hidden from view. Like, you know, the restructure's not happening for 3 years, or there may be a time frame that is going on here that you are unaware of, is the sensation that's happening here. And that's very unfair. Energetically, Spirit is saying, my spirit guide Crow's here, and he's just like, he's tutting and shaking his head. This is not, Spirit does not approve of you being stuck in this situation at all. They do not, this guy, they do not like it, just like left to kind of fend and just to keep putting in the legwork. It's bringing to mind though those back in the day, like in prisons in the Victorian era, when they were talking like about rehabilitation, they would get people to like cycle forever or be on a treadmill, and there would be no like end gain. It was just good for them to do it. So they bore them to tears. It's the feeling. They would bore them to, like, that is probably worse than just sitting around in a cell and feeling sorry for yourself, frankly. At least you're fit for when you really lose it and punch the prison guard. That's the feeling that I'm getting here. It's boring. It's really monotonous, this energy. It feels like I want to look out the window and all I'm seeing is tumbleweed. Yes, frustrating. Oh my God, this is frustrating. Because you haven't been put in the picture. You really haven't been put in the picture. You've been given false hope in this situation. Yup. Yeah, there's a reason for you to believe that, you know, it was something that would be foreseeable in the future. And I think even if at that stage somebody had said, or your bosses or whatever had said, you know, it's going to take a rather long time to get you to this position, I think the conversation would have gone something like, okay, well, thank you for putting me in the picture. I will consider that, and maybe I will be able to do that. But if at the end of it, the result is something that actually benefits me and what I'm looking for, or progresses me as a person, or stretches me as an individual, or makes allowance for my emotional states, then I may agree. I may agree. But I have the right to change my mind at any given fucking time. And again, I don't think whoever's on the other end of that fucking carrot and stick mechanism doesn't want you to feel you've got the right to change your mind about a situation either. It's very, and the energy is that actually bothers investing in the mechanism that puts a carrot and stick there just so that they can then be lazy about it is insane. It's just, but that's, that's modern society, that's modern working fucking reality for most people, right? Absolutely insane. But yeah, this is a situation where I think you feel like not put in the picture. You don't feel respected because you haven't been put in the picture. And you haven't been respected by not being put in the picture. You haven't been seen on a level of somebody who would need to know the information that actually directly affects you and affects maybe a dynamic with somebody or your actual professional existence. It's that's triggering. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty damn triggering. All right, I'm gonna shuffle some cards in. Whew. Oh, I feel like there's a few things you want to say, and my words like keep spilling out in like streams. It feels like I feel like you just want to say a few things in this situation, get it all out, express it. Yeah, I feel that that's. I think maybe you are discussing it with people. I don't know, but if you are, I think that they would be feeling like me, like, yeah, absolutely, you deserve more than this. You deserve more than this. And I feel like you know that you deserve more than this, or you've just cottoned on to the fact that you deserve more than this, and you're not going to settle for anything less. And I feel if there's been deception here, and some of it, for some of you, it may not be like outright deception. It's just the way that it bloody works in this organization or whatever. But it's left you with a bit of cynicism or a bit. Yeah, I very much want to lift my eyebrow and go, what do you got for me? This is going to be interesting to watch you explain, because you've had me going around in circles here, and you knew you were doing it. You knew you were doing it on a mechanistic, like carrot stick, disappear carrot stick. I'll leave the carrot here. It's just, yeah, and this could very much be a situation where somebody comes in for banging and then goes out again. And maybe that's all they feel they've got to offer, or maybe there's a time limit on that, or time situation there. But they used an excuse. I'm getting more now. This person uses excuses, and I feel that I keep coming up with like work analogies because they use the excuse of money. They may use the excuse of work. Money, work, they don't have the resources. I'm seeing the 5 of coins. We just don't have the resources. But I feel like this is bullshit. Is the feeling. Yeah, the feeling is, well, you can afford this elaborate mechanism for my fucking carrot and stick. So that I am not buying. Yeah, this person may use responsibility in inverted commas as an excuse to avoid the fact that they could change something. They could change the situation if they wanted to, but they're worried it might cause waves. That's what I'm getting. They're worried it might cause waves, or it'll be too much effort is also what I'm guessing. Honestly. I think I need some chamomile tea with this one. Chamomile tea. I feel like in some way Spirit has protected you from this situation, and maybe you have been kept in the dark, but actually it's come to your benefit, because I feel it's come to your benefit, and actually whoever's kept you in the dark is now feeling that they really shouldn't have kept you in the dark, or this job situation could be really awkward because they're likely to lose you in this scenario, and they're going to be like a very important person down is what I want to say about that. Yeah, Crow's just doing the tutting thing. He keeps making me laugh. he's making me laugh, so I'm not like triggered. Why is this triggering me? This meeting is triggering me. I think this yeah, there's some kind of cowardice around the moon energy. That's what it is. I really hate that energy. I mean, I really don't care what people say. I'm very unshockable. I just say it. Just say it. Or give someone the opportunity to decide where they stand emotionally or, fiscally in response to that. Just say it is the feeling. I feel like, yeah, you might be a bit like me, a little bit Celtic. We prefer to have an argument and then sort it out and have a cup of coffee and everybody forget about it. Everyone's saying what they need to say. Maybe even shouty, but usually not like personal. Not really personal. Oh, Christ, yeah. This is... Yeah, so it could be around a home situation with all that stuff with the Adventurine. That is definitely coming through here. Could be around a home situation as well. Silence. The moon in the card. I mean, come on now. Come on. And look, it's on her forehead. The intuition is lit up. You're like, I smell moon energy. There it is. I'm smelling moon energy. You're not putting me in the picture here, are you? Your radio silence. You're not telling me the circumstances by which you want me to remain in a waiting, holding pattern. And I think you're learning something very important here. You're learning how to break the pattern, because I think Spirit is saying that this could have been like a repeat pattern, even if this is a different circumstance to maybe a similar circumstance in the past. There's still a shadow of the repeating energy. And I say shadow because I feel like it is a shadow, because I don't think the time frame, maybe, I don't know, but it doesn't feel like you've taken a shorter amount of time to work this out than you would have done in the past, is what I want to say. And Spirit is like, look, see that as a beneficial energy here. And I feel like maybe you haven't said anything either. You're keeping it under your hat. Good for you. Because I feel like, you've been woefully underestimated in this situation. And you've been accused of leading people on here, is the feeling. Maybe that is something that's been said, or... But it's the other way around. It is the other way around here. Because you benefit somebody, and you're not getting any benefit from that. So this is, again, nothingness at the bottom. I get nothing from it, I tell you. Nothing. That's how I'm feeling. I might have to pause and actually make myself a cup of tea. I think I might. I have soothing tea now. That's nice. Okay. I do feel like something's been said behind the scenes about you here. I think you've been discussed, is the feeling that around this situation. And I really don't think that the discussion has been about just how much you hold down, or just how much effort you put into things, or just how much legwork you do, or just how much strength you have, because those are all things coming through. It feels more like, yeah, there's been a collusion. Whatever's been hidden from view here, there's been a collusion. And I feel like somebody's gossiped here, and I feel like what they've said is that they've tried to make it sound like it's all on you. They've tried to make it sound like it might be your attitude, or it might be whatever it is. They have tried to push accountability away from themselves and onto you, so that you should carry everything, including accountability. But what Spirit is saying here is that you are not accountable for things that you are unaware of. You may energetically participate. Maybe your higher self is aware of it, which I'm sure it is, and therefore there are lessons to learn here, and they're very beneficial. But you're certainly not accountable for any misfortune that may occur off the back of this situation, or mechanisms ceasing to work is also what I'm getting. The carrot being eaten, and then the donkey going, excuse me. I'm seeing a different picture to this equation now. Why is nobody here in support of my situation? Where are the people that claim to be supportive? Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, Spirit's like, they can say what they like. They will have to deal with the consequences of their own actions. And it may be that one of those consequences, like I say, is losing you. And in losing you, it may be that this person has to lose you to understand what they've actually lost here. Or to realize that they were taking you for granted, like enormously for granted. It may be that, they are quite scared at this point, is my feeling. But they're still not showing up. There's still silence in this situation. They're still not stepping forward. They're still not showing up for themselves. What is this person hiding? What are they hiding? Or this organization or whatever, the management team or whatever. Or what are they hiding? Politics. The Seven of Swords. Are you kidding me? No wonder I'm feeling triggered by this person. What's on the bottom? Letting go. Yes, they're maneuvering because they don't want to let you go. They don't want to let you go. But or do they? I mean, if this is a job situation, are they maneuvering about letting you go? No, I don't think so. That's not the message that I'm getting in. Or maybe they're planning on letting you go in the future. Or I don't, honestly, don't jump to conclusions about this one. By the way, do take what resonates, because I'm not here to break up partnerships or, do take what resonates. But this is a deceptive card. And in this deck, I mean, look at it. Politics, the mask. The mask, maneuvering and strategy. This is maneuvering and strategy. And I think they genuinely would be sad to let you go. And they don't want to let you go. Yeah, they're preventing their own, if this is a relationship situation, they're preventing their own self-reflection. Look at the water. They're preventing themselves from looking at themselves via sad emotional content, because there's something this person needs to deal with, and they deal mainly in the mind. And the mind is not how you manifest. Again, with the Adventurine that I was bringing up at the beginning, the mind is not how you manifest something that is a heartfelt energy. You need to feel it and then connect with the feeling. And then that homestone found me a home within a week. I never thought it would be true, but I lost all of my worry. It became like a worry stone. I just held on to it every time I felt my mind spinning and trying to come up with solutions, and just vibed with that sense of what it was to feel in an environment that was supportive and peaceful and beautiful, right? And I stopped looking in the way that I was looking. I stopped scouring the internet. I stopped being obsessive about the energy. So maybe there's a message in that too for you. If you're looking for a job or anything like that, stop scouring the internet and start asking yourself how you want to feel in that situation, and go and maybe buy a stone that represents something that you're like, I want to feel like this. If you know the feeling, you've pinpointed the energy. And if you're experiencing the feeling, even if you do it for 30 seconds every day, it changes the frequency. It just changes your brain and how you think about it. It's so effective. I like to have physical props for that sort of thing, but you can do it however you want. But yeah, I feel like there's been so much, you feel maneuvered in this situation. You feel maneuvered, and it's made you feel sad, and you may be feeling very tired as well, exhausted, not enough respite. It's relentless. You're expected to like keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And where is the effort coming in? Because I'm seeing this donkey on its own in an arena, and I'm like, well, where are the other employees, or the people that are supposed to be helping you, or your partner who's supposed to be contributing to this situation, or whatever your circumstance is, to be honest. In this level of deception does make me wonder. When the moon comes out as well with the silence, it makes me wonder. So if you think that there's something being hidden from view, and you're aware, again, take what resonates. Take what resonates. Don't get up in your head, though, is what I'm feeling to say. It blocks the manifestation. It blocks your sense of feeling free or good. And if it's a sense of freedom you're looking for, again, you can use something to manifest with that. I'm annoyed on your behalf in this reading. I'm not really sure of your circumstances, but this feels really very unfair. Politics, maneuvering, strategy. Oh, I don't like it. Comparison. That's not giving me a great energy. I feel like either you're comparing. Okay, so firstly, don't compare yourself to other people. I feel like that's really important to say here. But secondly, if this person is trying to compare you unfavorably with like other workers or other people, or do not fall for it. Do not buy it. It's a strategy. Such and such does this, so we're giving you this. You're like, yeah, but I work 20 hours a week and they work 40. And that's my contract. So why am I doing this? Sort of thing. So yeah, don't be pulled into comparison. It's a strategy. And it's, nicey face with that mask, but behind the scenes, maneuvering. Or somebody who is nice to your face but is actually very undermining behind your back, or is trying to present themselves in a certain light in order to not take accountability for like pitching in. It's okay if somebody's different. See the bamboo and the tree? It's okay if somebody's different. They bring different skill sets. Somebody's more flexible. Somebody's a bit more rigid. That's okay. But you've each got to pull your own weight here, or other people have to pull the same weight, or they have to help carry the burden, carry the load. Or my feeling is that you're just going to walk out of that arena and be like, good luck with the consequences of what occurs when I am not here to fucking carry you. Is the feeling. Good luck with that. Yeah. And that means that you may have to let go, and that may be sad. And maybe your issues with letting go are what are keeping you in this kind of patterning, or they're keeping you in a situation where you feel exhausted, and it's monotonous. And again, maybe it's a mindset that you have to let go of, because we've got consciousness at the bottom. So be consciously aware of what you're choosing to contribute to. And again, you are not to be held accountable for things that you did not previously know. However, now that you do know, you will be held more accountable spiritually if you don't make decisions in accordance with your consciousness and your conscience. Okay? Change is being ushered in. Spirit is really encouraging a change in this situation, and doing something I feel like it may be unpredictable to these other people, or because I feel like in a way what's coming, and it's either more of the same. Yeah, it's more of the same. It's more of the same. So Spirit is saying, unless you change it, it's not going to change, because it benefits the circumstance or other people that it doesn't. Really hope that resonates. If it did, please let me know what's going on for you. I'd be really fascinated to know with this one particularly. But yes, I really hope it resonated. Please whack the like button, leave me a comment. Always great for the algorithm. Thanks so much, guys. Bye. Hello, my Obsidian peeps here. This Obsidian, I love it in that it's like pretty weighty. It's heavy. It's reassuringly like heavyweight. Is the sensation, and it's given me like a physical sensation of being grounded or grounding, like having roots growing out of my feet and into the earth. There's some kind of stabilizing factor about this space. I'm being drawn to talk about the sacral chakra and how significant that may be in this situation. What is the situation, Spirit? Arrival. Great. So, okay. So I'm seeing you, or Spirit is encouraging you to be in a position of readiness to have somebody try and throw obstacles in your pathway, or try and diminish your energy, or humiliate you, or render you lesser in some way. And I feel like most of you would know that this is coming, or your spidey senses are like alerting you to this. I feel so. What Spirit is showing me is somebody, say Taekwondo. Give Taekwondo as an example. There's like a readying poise at the beginning of a bout, and Spirit is saying, be in the position of poised readiness for the energy that may be coming into this situation, like grounded, like feel it in your stomach, feel it in your belly, like breathe through, like unwrap the muscles is the sensation. Like the more relaxed you can be in the body, the better you are at responding, right? I mean, take a cat, for example. A cat can go from fast asleep to 3 meters in the air, and you're like, wow. And the ability to respond adeptly and capably is remarkable. And I feel like Spirit is saying you need to recognize that you are capable and you do have this energy. And the more relaxed you can be, the more poised you can be, the better able you are to contend with this energy, because it feels like a bit of a curveball or something unexpected. It feels like your opponent, which I'm going to talk about your opponent more, but I feel like your opponent relies upon ambush, or relies upon the element of surprise, or comes in like left of center, out of the blue is the sensation. And they may want to bring a tower to your energy. They want to destabilize you. They want to get you off balance. And they may try and do this emotionally. They may try and do it mentally. Some people may even try like physically intimidating you. I really hope that's not the case. And mostly this is metaphorical, thank God. But you must stay centered is what Spirit is trying to say here. And not be in a reactive space, but be in a responsive space, responsive to the energy. Yeah. And then now I'm seeing a tiger readying in the bushes. This person is not Tiger Force. I feel like Spirit is saying that you're the Tiger Force. And the more relaxed you can be, the less you feel the need to act, and less absolutely required, the better. In this situation, they'd rather you were neutral in the emotional space. They would rather you were very much in the moment, in the body, when dealing with this person. Don't be distracted. There's lots of distraction tactics that this person has, and there's lots of emotionally provocative energy I feel that this person has as well, and it could definitely be in fire energy. They feel angry and they feel bitter and they feel resentful. This is somebody that, you know, if they feel slighted, they'll never let it go. This is somebody that really hangs on to the energy. They just don't let go of it. It's just something that they can't move through, that they have to hold on to because they want some kind of reprisal or revenge, or this person is pretty petty is what I'm feeling to say as well. Smug. Their energy feels really crude, and now Spirit is showing me a boxer. Like, it feels like this is the wrong combative arena. They're showing me your energy and like readying for the bout of taekwondo, and this person as like a boxer. And so there's completely different rules of engagement. There's completely different uses of power, uses of energy. This person, I'm seeing them like wandering around the ring and like pumping themselves up and hyping up the crowd, and they've got this like megaphone energy, and I'm seeing the Judgment card with that as well. I feel like this person is judgmental of you, and they see you as weak or lesser or further down the hierarchy in some way to them. This person feels the need to absolutely always have to be the top dog or the most significant person in the room or the most significant energy. They don't like, but they don't like to acknowledge that they're not always right, or that they're not always an expert, because there's somebody puts himself forth as an expert in pretty much everything. Yeah, this is somebody who's like, well, I read in the Daily Mail that this is a fact. And if you point out that there's maybe books or like written articles on it, or maybe they should go and reprise that particular opinion and they'll find a different level of information, they will not like it. They will not like it one iota. And they'll remember you did that, because that'll be a slight, because you weren't steamrolled by their energy, because you didn't immediately comply with their opinion, which they give in a way that's very bombastic or very self-entitled, or very they take a position of the high ground, even if that does not belong to them, is the sensation. But it's very judgmental. They'll put themselves on a pedestal, and so this person is far more likely to fall off the pedestal, because that's where they've positioned themselves, way up in the clouds. So they're gonna fall off, and they're gonna find it very difficult to admit when they do fuck up, or when they're like, I'm so sorry, I broke the Ming vase, it was on me. That's not something they'll do. They'll be like, the cat did it. It was the cat did it. It is the sensation. It's like, if the shit hits the fan, it's never their responsibility. They're not going to step forward. They're not going to own up to it. In fact, they're going to try and deflect it. It's going to be your fault, or it's going to be something out of their control. But if you fuck up, or if you make a mistake, or if you misstep, or if you lose balance, or if you get annoyed, any of those things, they're going to be all over it like a rash. All over it. Because this person is very hypocritical, is what Spirit is saying about this person. Highly hypocritical. And I think they want to challenge you. And I think they really want a brawl, is the sensation that I'm getting. They want to come in with their boxing gloves to your taekwondo arena. And this is an error. Spirit is like, this is a big, big error. Because your energy is not a showy, your energy is not in need of a wide audience to approve or agree. Your energy is very independently inclined, is the sensation that I'm getting. And you're an independent thinker, is what Spirit is saying, and very valuable in that regard, because I feel like you're not particularly conventional in your thinking, even though you may respect codes of conduct. You may respect like social interaction to be, diplomatic or democratic or polite, or this person is not polite. This person is actually pretty crude next to your energy. There's somebody that's going to use all the bulk of their force, their energetic force, and it does pack a punch, I'm not going to lie. They're going to want to use that to take a strike. And Spirit is like, step out of the way and let them fall over on the mat. Because you can see it coming, so you don't have to get sideswiped. You can see it coming, so you don't have to have the ground shake. when they try and bring you a tower, because if the ground shakes, you're going to be poised to be able to jump into a better position, because you're thinking about your own space, you're centered in your own zone. And that's the most significant relationship here, is you with you, in terms of like peace and a lack of stress. This person is very obvious in their energy, even if they think that they're not obvious, in terms of them rivaling themselves with you or trying to create a conflict or trying to provoke you. Because I am seeing the strength card here as well, and strength often comes up for me when there is a provocation that needs to be held back from or resisted from. If this is like a romantic situation, this person may be trying to like bring it in a lust, in an energy of lust, or trying to tempt you, or but actually that fiery, lustful energy is also responsible for a trigger happy temper here. So because if you scratch the surface, or if you could take way more needling than this person, is what I feel to say. And in fact, Spirit wants to commend you for your ability to stay neutral if this person has been very provocative, or to stay back if they've been very like lusty or whatever, or if they've tried to elicit like a passionate response from you, because this person just leads with passion energy, and it's unchecked is what I'm getting. They don't want to look at it. It's unchecked. So they feel like they don't have to acknowledge that that is an energy at all. They'd rather tell you that it's your energy, or you're objectionable, or you're argumentative, or you're... and that is if you refuse to be railroaded, you're all of those things. So if you refuse to be bullied by this person, they will accuse you of being provocative. Yeah, this is gaslighting is what is going on with this person. And I think it's because they are genuinely ignorant of how their energy comes across. It takes up a lot of room. It has to be considered significant. There is an arrogance and a snidiness. I want to say snidiness about this person. Even if they're sort of pretending to engage in the right ways, they will attempt to undermine you via other people, is what I'm getting. Or they will try and throw you under the bus when you're out of earshot, or complain about you, or you know, I didn't want to point this out, but I think they're really struggling with X or Y. They feel like they have to minimize your energy. They feel like they have to make you smaller, because your energy, it just isn't small. Spirit is like, that's the problem that this person is having with you, is that your energy, even if it's not showy, even if it's not shouty, even if it's not judgmental, there's nothing small about your energy. And Spirit is saying that this person is desperate to see it as small, just so that they can feel like they're on the energetic level, but they want to beat you, or they want to win, or they want to outmaneuver you in some way and minimize your energy in some way, in order to buy into this belief that they somehow have a say in how you engage in the world, or a say in where your boundaries should be, or a say in what you're doing in your work capacity, or any of those things. They want to be up in your business because they want to dominate the space, or they want to be, or they're like sulking at this point in time, readying to come at you, or readying to put lots of obstacles in your way, or to make things really complicated or difficult or hard for you to grasp, is also the sensation that I'm getting. So you don't quite appreciate or understand or have the full picture. And this is relating like a little bit to pile number 1 for me. So if you're called to watch that reading, do. Because there are some similarities here. But I feel like this is a very significant revolutionary space for you, in which you are being called dharmically either to challenge this person. And again, if you do, Spirit is saying you've got to do that in your way, in the way that you choose to respond, in the taekwondo energy is what I'm getting, using all your flexibility, using their energetic force against them. And less is more is what Spirit is saying. Is highly efficient, isn't it? Like the Eastern forms of combat, highly efficient with energy, never wasteful. I mean, you're not wildly swinging. It's not about brute force. It's not about the heavyweight nature of the boxing ring. It is about subtlety. It's about speed. It's about not responding and then responding when it's unexpected in a way that is off balancing for this person. Because they may not expect you to respond. They may expect to railroad you entirely. And if they don't expect you to respond, you're being asked to respond. To respond in a way that says, actually, you can't railroad me. Again, standing up to this overbearing, bullying, bullish energy is what I'm getting. Or you're being asked to not be provoked and sidestep them and let them career into the wall. Again, Spirit is like, you're going to know in the moment what is right to do. And all you have to do is tune into the body and make sure your stomach is like relaxed and like feels solid. Carry tourmaline if you need to carry tourmaline on your person, if you kind of expect this destabilizing energy, because they do want to bring a tower. But what Spirit is saying is that they're actually contending with one. They're dealing with the tower. We've got the turning point at the bottom of the deck. I do feel that's really significant here. It's about starting a new cycle, this card. It's about right timing. It says regeneration, steady improvements, the start of a new cycle. I do feel like this person is trying to prevent you from connecting with fresh energy or new energy, or being able to start afresh in some way. Because they want to hang on to ill will, or they want to hang on to a sense of needing to take you down a peg or two, as if they had a right to, which Spirit is saying they very much do not have a right to. They are not judge, jury and executioner here. That is Spirit. That is Spirit. Judge not lest ye be judged is also what I'm hearing. So this judgment energy that they're bandying around, because they really they feel that they have a right to judge you. This judgment energy actually is hovering over their head, because other people, they may not be aware, but other people perceive them as this bullish, possibly rude, crude kind of energy, where they are so used to pushing, throwing their weight around is also what I want to say, that they may not notice that other people really don't respect them for it. They really genuinely think this person is really arrogant, super, super arrogant. They may think that they're a specialist, and maybe they are a specialist, but they're not in their arena. If they're coming into your arena and telling you about what you should be doing in terms of your specialism, Spirit's like, they're not in the right arena. It is not the right approach. They are only going to humiliate themselves in this process, in the desperate attempt to humiliate you in the process here. And that's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. I do feel like this person has tower energy either going on around them now. There's some kind of crisis. There's some kind of upheaval going on around them now, that they are very angry about, is the sensation. And maybe they have every right to be, but it's none of your business, and you're not the punch bag. is what I feel to say. So you may have to be very strong with your defenses here. And if they do come at you, you may have to, you know, cut this person off, or just be very damn clear about where your boundaries are. And again, it has to come from a neutral space. And that's not to say you can't express disapproval or you can't express your disappointment with this person's behavior, but you can't express it from a space of anger. You can't express it from a space of unbalanced energy, because then it's not going to, then they're going to, you're playing into their game, you're playing into the tactic, that then they will see that you're off balance, and then they can, you know, punch your lights out, is the sensation going on here. Because I don't feel like this person believes in codes of behavior or codes of conduct. I really just don't. And that, again, that's much more of an Eastern or tribal philosophy in terms of conflict. It's not about the most damage it can do to the other person. It's about how you engage, what you learn, how you improve via adversity. And I feel that's where you're coming from. You're integrating challenges and then making them part of your worldview is the feeling. And that gives you immense flexibility. And the Tao Te Ching says, you know, the soft and supple will prevail, but the rigid will be broken. I feel like this person is very rigid. They are very set in particular modes of seeing, in particular ways of viewing the world. And any change to the worldview, any challenge to their worldview is going to be triggering for this person, because they'd like everybody to comply with everything they believe and live in a grayscale world full of themselves. What fun. As if they'd get along with themselves, which they wouldn't at all. But in some way they're threatened by your energy. And maybe why are they threatened? Why are they so threatened by your energy? Splitting apart came out. It's the death card. That's the death card. And again, I feel like it's because you can cut off, because you can rejuvenate, regenerate, like the phoenix from the ashes. You can come up and you can rebirth yourself here. But this person feels like they're falling apart, and maybe they are going through a split, or maybe there has been an ending in their life or in their circumstances. Again, there's no reason for them to take this out on you, though. They need a deep dive. They need a deep dive into themselves here. Work on what has been spoiled as the bottom. They need to go and realize that their energy as it stands causes damage that they need to take accountability for. They need to be able to be the one that says, I'm really sorry I broke the Ming vase. I'm so sorry it was me, instead of blaming the cat. It's as simple as that. And this person brings about conflict. They actively seek it. And I feel like they may try and do something to undermine you. They may try and do something to throw you under the bus. They may try and do something to have people question your capability, or question your ability to deal with something, or question your code of conduct in some way. This person be very keen to point out if there is any breach on your side in a code of conduct, which is why Spirit is saying we want you to be poised. You want me to behave in a way that is like above reproach, so that this person reaps the consequences of all of their behavior. Because they deserve to reap the consequences of their behavior, because their behavior is like not okay in spiritual terms. It's not okay. They're just, yeah. This is challenging, man. I was hoping this reading would be a little bit easier, but here we go. Deliverance. They want deliverance from this tower energy. Look at the lightning. This person's actually pretty damn hard, what's I'm going to say, sad is what I want to say. a fresh approach, liberation from obstruction. I feel like that's Spirit's message to you. They're going to liberate you from this. It's going to be a relieving situation. There is a solution up ahead because you know the Tower energy is coming. It's like a set, and Spirit's like, you get to celebrate just how far you've come. We've got discipline at the bottom of the deck, and that's giving that kind of equipoise energy that I was getting. So it's like, I am ready. I know I'm going to be delivered by Spirit. I am ready for your energy. You know, you're going to come at me? Come on then. Come on then, because I'm going to listen to the moment. And in the moment, I'm going to work out what needs to be done and what needs to be said. And you can only be in attunement with that if you're not being distracted by emotional energy, or if you're not being triggered by this person, or if you're not being, if you see it coming, if you recognize the next move here is what I'm getting. It's dark in here, I can't really see. Exert authority, define, time to take act, the bull by the horns, create a strategy and mobilize forces. Again, I feel that could be Spirit saying it's time to deal with this. It's time to tell this person that this is your remit and they need to back off, or to just boot them from your remit if necessary. You don't have to engage particularly, you just cut them off. I cut you off again, like with this kind of swords energy going, no, I'm done. We're done here. I'm delivering myself from this scenario. I just don't want to engage with this anymore. And it's very honest. It's very clear cut. You know, and you could give them advance warning, but Spirit is like, depends on the nature. I feel like you understand already what this person is capable of or how wily they are. And I am getting like turning point wily snake energy with this person. Feels very karmic, this energy. It feels like they have their own karma to contend with, and that they just lash out. They just don't have control over their ability to lash out. And there's only so far that you can be empathetic to somebody's situation, no matter if they're struggling or whatever. But you are not the punch bag for this person. The clinging. Yeah, I feel like that's you in this card. It's like lit up with the correct fire energy. Lit up with your own inspiration is also what I'm feeling to say. Inspiration is one of the words down here. Devotion, all-consuming passion, spirituality, virtue, enlightenment, and regeneration again. I feel like this person wants those things, but they're not going about it with the correct approach. They're going about it with like very unbalanced fire energy. And again, don't let that energy ignite. Don't give it any fuel, because this person needs to deal in their own angry space with their own angry self in some way, shape or form, or their own, and maybe they need like it might be that they get their ass kicked, or they might get their own tower moment that they don't see coming because they're so busy trying to cause towers with you, or they're so busy trying to throw obstacles in your way here. They may also act like they're in it with you, or that they're supposed to be in this arena with you, or that, again, I feel like there's expectation that this person has that you will be easily maneuvered or easily manipulated or easily belittled or humiliated or railroaded, and you're not going to be, and that's going to be a surprise to this person. So this is a kind of keep your competitors guessing energy that I'm hearing here. Just keep these bastards guessing. Okay, the abysmal, danger, insecurity, unpredictability, dark emotions. that all belongs to this person. And underneath we've got the small is beautiful. It's the taming power of the small. But this to me is like the red line. You do not cross this. If you cross this, it's over. You know, they may not think of you as somebody who can just cut off or put the line in the sand or be so like damn honest or blunt with them. Maybe they think they own that energy, but I think you can just put a pin in it and be like, well, here's the problem. You know, your behavior is just something I can't deal with, or something I'm just not interested in. That you don't give me anything of value in this situation, and therefore all you do is create conflict. So I'm done. I'm done here. I'm out. You can't hit me up. You can't come at me physically. You can't. Yeah, it's treading conduct at the bottom. This was like coming to mind. You must be above reproach is what Spirit is saying in this situation. Be very mindful of your conduct in this situation, because your conduct is what keeps a spiritual backing in your camp. It's absolutely, if you fall off this conduct wire, then this person is proven right. This person, it may go in a different way. You may lose this bout. You may be humiliated. You might not achieve what you want to achieve. There may be a number of obstacles to overcome. So be mindful that it may seem small even, but it's highly significant. It is some kind of turning point that is going to usher in a new beginning, if you make damn sure that you are going to be unscrupulous. Okay, really hope that resonates. Thanks so much. Bye. Hello, my lovelies who chose the Labradorite here. I am loving your energy. I am loving your energy. I feel like this reading might be about reminding you of your capabilities. I feel it might be by way of reassuring you as well for some of you here. But it feels like Spirit does want to talk about like different aspects of your personality that are really significant in the world, is what I feel the need to say. And the first thing that I'm seeing is the sacred fool. And I keep feeling that energy of sacred clowning, sacred performing, sacred shape-shifting energy is what I feel inclined to say, like multiple hats, the ability to shift in multiple. It's giving me the Empress because of the integration of the 4 queens into the archetype of the Empress. Knowing which queen to come from is highly significant. So knowing which aspect to come from and when you need to come from that aspect, and sort of moving with the moment with that, because that sort of clowning energy, the fool energy, is so capable of spontaneity, so capable of rolling energetically. And I'm seeing tumbling now, but rolling in a way that is just shifting with the course of what the energy requires and when it requires it. It's really capable of being in the now, being in the moment, and this is like a phenomenal capability, because you make something look easy that it really isn't. Is the feeling that I'm getting here, that it really isn't easy, and you may do it with a kind of, I don't know, a fool-like approach, like maybe slightly scatterbrained or slightly or willingly comical is also what I feel the need to say. Some of you could well be comedians, or like it's so, you're funny. You're funny, pile 3. There's no other way I can put it. You're funny, and your humor may be something in your arsenal that Spirit wants to remind you about, or to, clap you on the back for, is what I'm getting here. Yeah, and I'm hearing laughter in my mind. because you have this ability to convert, because humor is a very underestimated conversion energetic, isn't it, from like heavyweight dark or deep or dense energy to flipping energetically to something that is comical or humorous or seemingly lightweight but has very something much more heavyweight at the core of the message, is the sensation that I'm getting here. And that is, I mean, your ability to do that is like master catalytic is the sensation that's coming through. Yeah, and now I'm seeing people like George Carlin or Bill Hicks or even Ricky Gervais. So what's coming through as well is like this controversial, the ability to create controversy. Yeah, the sacred fool is disruptive, right? The sacred disruptor of the terribly solemn ceremony. And the reason why tribal cultures allowed and actually encouraged this energy into society was because of the nature of chaos, that chaos was ever present in life. And at the second you try and compartmentalize or structure and don't take account of chaos, don't take account of what can happen left of center or of discontent or voices that don't fit in. Yeah. Now I'm seeing, again, I always channel with Monty Python for some reason, but I am seeing the bit in the life of Brian when Brian is standing in front of a crowd and he's saying, I'm not the Messiah. Oh no, his mother is saying, he's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy. And then Brian gets up and he says, oh, you're all individuals. And the crowd just chants back, we're all individuals, apart from one guy at the back who says, I'm not. And that's the energy that's coming through here. Yeah. And that's the energy coming through it. So people may have a tendency to like pedestal you and then be mortified or disappointed or triggered by the fact that you're not a perfect being, right? That could be the case, which again is why humor is so useful in terms of, because I feel like there could be strong self-deprecation in your energy as well, which again is a very capable way of making sure that people don't like put you in a position that you're uncomfortable with, which Brian is deeply uncomfortable with, right? All the way through the movie. But apparently that line, that I'm not, was ad-libbed in that movie as well. So again, with this kind of ability to be spontaneous, to think on the spot, to be able to roll creatively with like a high level, high priestess, empress energy coming through this reading. Because intuition is like a vital part as well of knowing about how to deliver something. And I think that your delivery is in some way immaculate because it's spirit that's in control of the delivery. You're just listening to your intuition. So the perfect timing that comes with your energy is also about the fact that you hand it over to spirit. It's spirit's timing. Which is, again, why I feel like you want to be seen in your capacity to fulfill your sacred duty or to be this like sacred shape-shifting energy that is going on and able to convert and catalyze. And you need to be recognized in that way. And it feels like you want your audience to understand your intention. And yeah, again, with like, there's a sensation though that if they don't, well, then they know where the door is. Bye. again, you know your audience is what I feel to say to you. So yeah, I feel very strong that you could be on some level of platform or somehow visible, or you are a performer, or there is some kind of role in which you need to take central stage in something, or you need to carry energy in some way. Yeah. But it's this something very sacred about what you're here to do, and you're here to cause a reflective mirror to be shone back. I'm seeing Amaterasu in my mind, because in this particular deck, she holds the mirror up. You may be very attractive, like you may seem conventionally attractive to people but it's specifically in the feminine energy, and whether you're masculine or feminine, I feel like the energy that is attractive in you is the first thing that people see is the sacred feminine energy. So if you're masculine, I feel like you're a real gentleman, you're courteous, there's some kind of, you know, secure or tender or sweet energy that is beloved by women in particular. And again, if you're female, I think you are beloved by women particularly, because I feel like you may not look it's bringing to mind like really sweet faced like feminines who are very, very funny. So there's some kind of incongruity about how people may judge you by your initial energy, which is Amaterasu. It's sun energy, and it's light and it's fun, and there is this joyful or youthful, I want to say youthful, exuberant nature that comes through with that energy for me. And so they might not think that you're capable of dealing with heavyweight energies, which you very much are, because Amaterasu spent time in the cave. So you very much are. Like, you know, because I get in that story, she is lured out of being in the cave by Uzeme, who is, you know, very funny, and she's making everybody laugh. And so Amaterasu is curious and comes out of the cave. And I feel like you're both. You're like Amaterasu and Uzeme in this for me, because you're able to make people laugh. And I feel like that strong sun energy is suggesting to me that you are who you are. You, again, with that being in the moment and being authentic in every moment, even if you are playing different roles, and we all have different roles in our world, but this is different. You're conscious, you're aware of the energy that you're in when you're swimming in it. You're listening to spirit. Guys, I love this energy. I love this energy. It's so impressive. It's very funny. It's really funny energy. So don't forget how funny you are and how significant it is for a catalytic force such as yourself, because I feel that you are here to help people. You are here to help people like cross the river is what I want to say. It's giving me like the ferryman vibes. You help people transition tricky or difficult or unfamiliar spaces to get them from one area that used to feel comfortable to another area that is going to be more comfortable for who they are. So very big transitional energies. You are the accompanying force. You light the way because you know how to be humorous when humor is needed, or when somebody is being too serious. And then you know how to bring seriousness when energy is being too frivolous in a sense. So you play both roles here. Again, sacred fool energy. I'm thinking about King Lear and the fool in King Lear, and how he's always so contradictory to where the king is sitting. And in that sense, because Lear's nature is so bombastic and it is quite ego driven and takes up a lot of room, and he does have authority, the fool is able to counterbalance the energy, and he's the only one that is tolerated to do so by Lear. And highly significant in that regard is it's a very sacred energy. I mean, you literally are giving me goosebumps. And this is the energy that I love to learn from, and it's an energy that is in the way in the things that you present, or the way that you present yourself. Do not feel bad about making your audience uncomfortable is what I'm feeling to say, because I'm a personal big fan of Bill Hicks. Like, he really helped me see the world through a totally different lens. He's kind of cult in the UK, even though he's less known in America. We like our humour with teeth and claws. Nature is red and tooth and claw is the feeling that is coming through. So you might have an appreciation of poetry or of language is also the sensation here. Yeah, I feel like he made me feel uncomfortable at times, because I was laughing along with him and being like, I'm a terrible person for laughing at this, but God, it's funny. Or I can't believe he's like miming this on stage right now. My jaw is on the floor. I was absolutely inspired by his complete disregard for taking the piss out of himself and allowing people to feel triggered by him. He knew he would trigger people, but they knew where the door was. Is the feeling. So you're just ruling this energy at the moment, and my sense is that the last few readings were all about challenge. They were all about dealing with challenge, or being in the midst of challenge, or how to confront a challenging situation. You are the challenge for a lot of people, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. I truly admire it. And you may not be controversial like Bill Hicks. That may not be the way that you use your energy. It may be more self-deprecating. It may be more. But again, I feel like, if it is very much in that sort of sweet, self-deprecating energy, people totally woefully underestimate your ability to pack a punch, or to hit that punchline, is what I'm feeling the need to say. So, yeah, because you need to tap into joy in order to stay fluid with your very powerful High Priestess energy, your very powerful intuitive energy, your perfectly right timed in an alignment with spirit energy. So I feel like you need to hear this right now, or yeah, maybe you have been challenged. Maybe you've been through one of the scenarios that I was picking up in pile 1 or pile 2 of this reading. But I feel like there's a mastery in it. And again, I'm seeing Ricky Gervais. He just doesn't give a shit. When he was doing the Golden Globes and roasting everybody there, he knew who his audience were. His audience were the millions of people at home who were laughing with him. And not the people in the audience that he was roasting the entire way through. And they kept inviting him back, which he kept saying was quite phenomenal. I mean, but that is because, you know who your audience are, you know who the people are who get why you are in consideration of this energy being so significant. And it is a highly significant energy. It's highly significant. And the reason why it's so significant is because in Western society, we feel the need to compartmentalize. We feel the need to put people into boxes and immediately think that we can describe their personality or their nature via the box that we put them into. It's like neat. It doesn't allow for the chaos energy. And societies that just persistently don't allow for chaos energy and feel the need to control anything chaotic end up being totalitarian dictatorships. So our tribal cultures knew better, suggesting that they'd been there and revised their approach. I mean, I feel like it's very significant to stand up to curtailment of the ability to disrupt, the ability to again, it's like banning the right to protest. That is like a big red flag, right? Or finding humor too controversial that you want to cancel it, like at the expense of somebody else enjoying it. It is the reflection of the time and the character of the space of humanity at that moment. Like, you can't eradicate history, and you shouldn't. And I feel like you are very hot on maybe those topics. I feel like your voice is here to advocate for playing devil's advocate. That's what I want to say. I love this. When I was challenged by listening to Bill Hicks, I loved it. And plenty of people love it. I like to be stretched. I like to be shocked, because not much shocks me. So I kind of like to see how I respond in those spaces. And I don't want you to ever feel like that you don't have an appreciative audience, because I feel like there are plenty of people like me who absolutely adore your energy. Maybe you already know that. So maybe you have challenged, maybe you've been challenged, maybe you've been triggered. I think that, no, I don't think you've really been triggered. I think that I think somebody else may have been triggered. Other people, like, you're used to triggering. You're used to triggering because you carry this catalytic fire within, is what I feel the need to say. Uzeme. I've got to hide her boobs because apparently boobs are controversial these days. And my opinion on that is that if you find boobs offensive, then you're psychologically in need of help. This is an over 18 channel. Get a grip on yourself. Again, censorship might be a problem for you, like it is for me, right? But it's extraordinary that she comes out because she is the laughter. She is the reason Amaterasu exited the cave. And I feel like you are both of those energies. You are the sun and you are Uzeme. You know how to be inspirational, and you come from a very pure energy when you do that. It is so pure, it's so authentic, but you are able to, you know, goof about is what I want to say, or like have a proper giggle. And because that makes you very attractive. I mean, Amaterasu is the goddess of beauty, right? Like, it makes you, and you may well be beautiful. I may have already mentioned that, but again, I think people like to look at you at the surface. They like to look at your surface energy. But your underbelly feels more like Sekhmet. You can basically say, oh, hell no, Durga. It's like, it's the feeling of, you know, always be surprising. I feel like your energy is unpredictable because you stay in the moment. You have unpredictable energy, but you yourself are naturally capable of being a chameleon with different energetics, and therefore some people just don't know how to predict you or don't know how you're going. You might even surprise friends that have known you for years. They might be like, you're doing that, okay. but they know that you're predictably unpredictable, if you know what I mean. I love this. There's such important energy. I think children adore you. I think they just like to be mischievous with you because you are bringing impish mischief along for the ride. And I think that you have a twinkle in your eye that every kid on planet Earth recognizes immediately as somebody that they can play with. It's the sensation. Or someone who'll be really dour with them, but they find it really funny. Or somebody that will try and scare them, but they find it dead entertaining. You're here to help people confront shadow energy and transition through the difficult sections, and that it's like big cycles. So you are armed with this capability of lightening the energy because you don't go where you will go where angels fear to tread. Yes, you go where angels. Kali at the bottom of the deck. Oh, sorry, did she have two mouths where her boobs should be? Again, Kali, fear. You are able to confront fear, and you may come at it head on, and that is very triggering for people who do not want to confront their shadow spaces and who don't want to look at the underbelly. You may be very good at like really going into the underbelly, and people are thinking, why do they want to be involved in the heavyweight nature of that energy? But it's because you dig up from the mud the oyster that contains the pearl, is what I'm feeling. And you are very wise with this energy. You also know that life is fraught with difficulty. It's fraught with big changing energies. I'm seeing the death energy in particular. Maybe some of you work in healthcare, I don't know, but you're able to help people transition through like big changes in their world, through their own like death energies, through their own grieving processes. And so you are the light in the darkness. I mean, it's so special. And I just think that maybe you just needed to hear that today. I hope so. Please let me know if this reading has resonated. Bridget, inspiration. I kid you not. The ever-burning torch. You are the light in the darkness. Bridget was one of those goddesses, and there's a few around the world, right, that are associated with the ever-burning flame. The keepers of the ever-burning flame. And inspirational energy is what you possess and what you carry. And that's going to light up dark spaces in people, and they might not like what they see, and therefore they're going to come at you. But Amaterasu carries the mirror in this deck. So you just mirror back by being yourself. And therefore you don't react in the way that people can predict at all. And their attempts to trigger you or push you don't result in an energy that they would expect, because I think some people expect to railroad you because of this sweetness to your nature, and actually the core of steel is what spirit is showing me, that this fire energy, there's this kind of, there's a reason for why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want people to be able to get uncomfortable in my presence, and not take it personally, because they're doing the work by doing so. And I think, yeah, you help people navigate the crossroads, Hecate, and it's very magical, and it opens them up to new ways of seeing things. And they very much come to you when they're at the crossroads of life, and they don't know which direction to take, and they're not quite sure which energy they want to acknowledge. Again, so in the death energy, when death occurs, there is an energy that comes afterwards of no man's land. And that is the energy that I feel that you help people navigate here. The energy of, this thing has happened and I'm trying to come to terms with this thing, but within death energy, I've lost my former sense of self. I've shed the skin, and now what? Now what do I do now that I've shed the skin of this older energy? Now how do I transit? How do I find out who the new me is? Where is my self? The things that I used to define myself by, they no longer exist, because death removes those familiar things that we used to think of ourselves in acknowledgement with or understanding with. And then you're in the no man's zone, where you're kind of trying on new ways of being to see which one fits best, to see what you want to be going forward, who you want to be going forward. And you're very, very good at helping people deal with that. It's powerful. I've just split the deck and I've got Lilith and Oya. Power and change, powerful change enacted through your energy. And Spirit is saying, some people who may engage with you, the consequences of not really grasping the wisdom of your energy, or willfully misreading you, or trying to cancel your voice again, trying to kind of decry or render or challenge you, try to challenge you. They don't appreciate that you could well have been the easiest way for them to access and start to deal with their own shadow self. And if they are really resistant to you, it may be that the next energy that comes along for them is a powerful tower. So I kind of feel that you are strong in this particular role that you occupy, and you may occupy others, but Spirit wants to talk about this one. Because they need, because they get an opportunity via your energy to be able to deal with things, and if they don't, the next challenging energy may not be so accommodating, is the sensation that I'm getting. It may not be so accommodating. It may lead to drama. It may lead to because people who are very, very rigid will not vibe with you at all. They will have a fixed notion of how things should work. It's like left or right, black or white. You are not that thinker. You are a spectrum of energy, is what I'm getting. And you don't even try to be, you just are. You just are. It's not like I don't even feel like you label this in any way within yourself. It's just the nature of this dancing energy that I keep tuning in with in Eurynomy, ecstasy, dancing with the north wind. Like, she's the creator of everything in this mythology, literally everything. She separates the heavens and the earth, so she's the sacred goddess energy. And again, with the female energy, I'm glad I'm using these cards. They just feel fitting. And she creates the north wind. They copulate and create like all life on earth, right? And everywhere, presumably. And then the north wind is unhappy about the fact that he is not considered a creator, because in this mythology, she is the creator, and this is very creative energy. It's very dynamic energy in your camp. Very. Like dynamic, I mean, Bridget, inspiration, dynamic, like arty is the feeling as well. I get, because he's not the creator and she is, he challenges her. And she's like brutal with the cutoff game. I can't remember what she does exactly, but I remember she just like annihilates the challenge. So again, it's like dancey until you press me. It's the sense, dancey until there's a lesson that I need to deliver to you, because Spirit says. And it's powerful energy. We've got Shakti underneath. It's all about balancing. It's all about you balancing things out. You know, as society gets more controlling, things need to be more controversial. They just do. They need to trigger more so, because that counterbalance becomes much more important. The irony, the humor, the ability to be sarcastic about things, the ability to take things way too lightly that should be heavyweight topics, like all of that is important. All of it is important. We've got Baba Yaga at the bottom of the deck, wild woman. And again, I feel like this wild, unbridled, maybe chaotic energy around you. Again, it doesn't have to be like way. It could be a very curated, maybe you are a comic, like it was a very curated energy, like Alan Partridge, but still he's playing with the chaos. It's this sense of knowing and embracing chaotic energy and being able to be unbridled in that space, this free dancing, creative, powerful powerhouse energy that other people may not initially see, the furnace that burns within. But I'm really glad Spirit got to share that with me, because I find your energy like genuinely inspirational, genuinely, and I just think that you are super creative. So thanks very much for joining me on my channel. I really hope that resonated for you and that it was something that you needed to hear or needed to be reminded of. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad I've ended the reading in this space. Thank you, Pile Free. I really mean it. Thank you. Take care of yourselves, and I'll read you again soon. Bye. Mwah.